Wednesday morning, 8:15 a.m., Oak Lane. A man walks down the sidewalk, calm. One hand holds a coffee, black, no lid, steam rising. The other hand holds a pink leash. At the end of the pink leash, a skunk, black and white, shuffling along the concrete like it owns the block, completely silent. On the porch across the street, Donna Whitfield, HOA president, stands with an iPad in one hand, and a look on her face like she's watching civilization collapse on her front lawn. Her yard behind her, grass trimmed to exactly 2 inches, mailbox aligned with a level, sound-dampening panels mounted along the porch railing. Everything measured, everything controlled, everything quiet, until now. She opens her mouth. Nothing comes out. Then, you cannot walk a skunk in this neighborhood. Marcus Green, 58, doesn't stop walking, doesn't look over, takes a sip of coffee. Resolution 14-B, Section 3, Donna. Non-noise producing animals are exempt. He pauses. Pepper hasn't made a sound since Tuesday. Another pause. Have you? Pepper the skunk looks up at Donna, blinks once, slow, keeps walking. Not a sound. Hello, everyone. I know what you're thinking. A skunk? On a pink leash? Past the HOA president's house? I thought the same thing. A buddy of mine sent me this post at 2 a.m. with one line. Bro, pink leash, skunk, read it. I almost didn't. The title sounded too perfect. But then I got to the moment where Marcus walks past Donna's porch, coffee in one hand, skunk in the other, and she can't do a single thing about it. I read the rest sitting straight up. 42,000 people upvoted this on r/malicious compliance. 3,100 comments, 47 awards. One comment said, "This man brought a skunk to a noise fight." And honestly, that's the most accurate summary I've ever read. How does a skunk end up on a pink leash in suburban Ohio? What happens when the whole neighborhood starts walking exotic animals past the president's house every morning? And what federal law does Donna accidentally violate when she tries to stop it all with a 47-slide PowerPoint? If you love stories where one person outsmarts an entire HOA, follow the channel. And stay for this one. Because in 4 weeks, Pepper won't even be the strangest animal on Oak Lane. He won't be in the top 5. Marcus Green, 58. Retired veterinarian, 30 years of small animal practice. Hands that have delivered breech puppies and held old cats through their last breath. He knows animals better than most people know their own families. Linda Green was his wife, high school biology teacher. Loud laugh, louder opinions. She spent 35 years telling teenagers that the food chain was more interesting than TikTok, and she was right. Linda died 3 years ago, ovarian cancer. 8 months from diagnosis to funeral. She spent the last month in her garden instead of the hospital, kneeling in the dirt with her bare hands. Marcus sat beside her and didn't say anything, because what was there to say? Linda said enough for both of them anyway. Her favorite line, repeated to students, to Marcus, to every stray cat she brought home. Every animal deserves a voice, Marcus, even the quiet ones. She meant it literally. Silent animals, turtles, snakes, fish, were her favorites. The ones that can't scream are the ones that need us most. Biscuit is a golden retriever, 13 years old, half deaf, arthritic in both hips, still smiles, still thumps his tail once, slowly, when Marcus walks into the room. And every single morning, when Marcus opens the back door, Biscuit barks. One bark, raspy, trembling, like clearing a very old throat. It's not loud. You can barely hear it from 10 feet away. But Marcus hears it, every morning. It's the first sound of his day, has been for 13 years. Around Biscuit's neck, a leather collar, brown, soft from a decade of wear. Linda stitched it by hand when Biscuit was a puppy, embroidered Biscuit in green thread, her favorite color. The thread is fraying now. Marcus could buy a new collar. He runs his thumb over the green stitching every morning instead. Touches the B, touches the T. Then he pours coffee and sits on the porch. That bark and that collar, that's what Marcus has left. Donna Whitfield, 48, HOA president for 2 years, former corporate event planner, the kind who managed sound levels at conferences, who placed noise-canceling panels behind podiums, who once sent an email to a venue because the air conditioning was 3 decibels too loud. She has misophonia, real, diagnosed, documented. Her brain turns ordinary sound into pain. A dog barking isn't a dog barking. It's a drill bit behind her eyes. White cotton gloves when she walks the neighborhood. Clipboard with a laminated checklist. Decibel meter app on her iPad. She holds it out like a weapon, scanning driveways and backyards. 34 noise violations in 2 years. She averages about 1.5 per month. 6 months ago, Donna passes Resolution 14-B, the Quiet Community Act. Any pet producing noise above 45 decibels, that's softer than a normal conversation, receives a $100 fine per incident. After 5 violations, mandatory surrender to the county animal shelter. The board passes it 3-1. The one dissent is Ted Kowalski, who says, "This is insane," and is told his opposition is noted. Day 1. Biscuit barks when the mailman knocks. 1 bark. $100. Day 4. Biscuit barks in his sleep, dreaming. Marcus doesn't even hear it. Donna does, from her living room, through 2 walls and a fence. iPad alert. $100. Day 7. Biscuit barks at a squirrel through the window. $100. Day 9. Biscuit barks when Marcus opens the back door. The morning bark, the ritual, the one sound Marcus needs to hear. $100. Day 11. Violation notice number 4. White envelope. Red stamp. 1 additional violation will result in mandatory surrender of the animal to Oak County Animal Shelter within 72 hours, per Resolution 14-B, Section 7. Marcus holds the notice with both hands, reads it twice, looks at Biscuit. Biscuit thumps his tail once and looks back with cloudy eyes that still somehow say, "I'm here." Marcus's thumb goes to the collar. Green thread. Linda's thread. He runs his finger over the stitching, slow, like reading Braille. "She told me every animal deserves a voice." His voice catches. Even the quiet ones. He puts the notice down, picks up his phone. Donna's number is right there. Online portal. $400. Done. Biscuit stays. No fight. No risk. He puts the phone down, opens his laptop. Not to pay the fine. Marcus reads Resolution 14-B. Every word, every subsection, every footnote. 2 a.m. Reading glasses on, red pen in hand. He reads it the way he reads blood panels, looking for what doesn't belong. Section 3. Non-noise producing animals are exempt from this resolution. Marcus stops, reads it again. Non-noise producing, exempt. Section 1. Definition of pet. Any domesticated or permitted animal residing on the property. His brain, trained by 30 years of veterinary school and animal law. What animal produces 0 noise? What animal is completely, permanently, biologically silent? And what animal would make Donna Whitfield's brain short-circuit? But first, Marcus tries something simpler. If Donna hates sound, maybe he can muffle it. He buys acoustic foam panels, installs them on the inside of his fence, the side facing Donna's house, covers Biscuit's dog door with a sound-dampening curtain, even places a white noise machine on his porch, aimed at her property line, to mask any barks. Saturday morning, Biscuit barks at a bird through the open kitchen window. The foam catches some of it. The white noise machine is pointed the wrong direction. Donna's iPad lights up from across the street. Alert. Violation 5. Pending. Marcus gets the notification email at 9:17 a.m. He stares at the screen. Pending. Not confirmed. Donna logged it but hasn't filed it yet. He has 48 hours before it becomes official. 48 hours before Biscuit goes to a shelter. Foam panels and white noise machines. Trying to play Donna's game. Controlling sound. It doesn't work. You can't make an old dog silent. You can't muffle 13 years of morning rituals. And you definitely can't out-engineer a woman who has spent her entire career measuring decibels. Marcus throws the foam panels in the recycling bin. Could still pay. Should probably pay. $400 and this whole thing goes away. He sits at the kitchen table, looks at Biscuit, looks at the laptop, looks at Section 3 again. Non-noise producing animals are exempt. He doesn't need to make Biscuit quiet. He needs to make Donna's resolution irrelevant. He picks up the phone, calls Dr. Sarah Park, old colleague, runs an exotic animal rescue in Columbus. "Sarah, I need an animal that's silent, legal in Ohio, and..." Memorable. Sarah laughs for 30 seconds straight. Memorable? Marcus, what are you planning? I'm filing a complaint, in animal form. The skunk arrives 3 days later. His name is Pepper, adult male, dissented, scent glands safely removed, standard veterinary procedure, common as declawing. Calm temperament, eats cat food, sleeps 18 hours a day, makes 0 audible noise. Legal in Ohio with a Class 2 wildlife permit. Marcus has one. He's a vet. He's had one for 20 years. Marcus stops at PetSmart on the way home, buys a leash. Pink. Why pink? He stands in the aisle holding it for a long moment. Linda's favorite color. At home, he clips the pink leash to Pepper's harness, introduces Pepper to Biscuit. Biscuit sniffs Pepper. Pepper doesn't move. They both lie down on the kitchen floor, side by side, like they've done this before. Marcus laughs. Actually laughs. First time in a while. He calls David Chen, lawyer, lives 4 houses down, mostly commercial real estate, but knows his way around HOA bylaws. David, if I walk a licensed, dissented skunk on a pink leash through the neighborhood, can the HOA fine me? David, is the skunk loud? He hasn't made a sound in his entire life. Then no, Section 3 exempts non-noise producing animals. You're compliant. Aggressively compliant. Wednesday morning. That first walk, that opening scene, you know how it ends. Donna screaming, Marcus sipping, Pepper blinking. But here's what happens after. Donna calls the HOA lawyer within the hour. Lawyer checks Resolution 14-B, checks Ohio animal law, and calls back. If the animal is dissented, permitted under state wildlife regulations, and produces no measurable noise, it's exempt under your own resolution. There's nothing to fine. Donna's response takes 48 hours. Emergency Board Amendment. No wild or exotic animals permitted on HOA property. Marcus checks. Ohio Revised Code. Section 935.01. Dissented skunks with valid wildlife permits are classified as domesticated exotic animals. Not wild, not exotic in the legal sense. The amendment doesn't apply. Marcus keeps walking Pepper. Every morning, 8:15 a.m., pink leash, coffee, calm. Donna watches from her porch, iPad in hand. Decibel reading, 0. She can't do anything. Mr. Park, the retired engineer 3 houses down, starts coming out on his porch at 8:14 just to watch. His wife brings a second coffee. They sit and watch Marcus walk a skunk like it's the morning news. And the pending violation 5? It quietly disappears from Donna's log. She never files it. She can't. Not while she's trying to figure out how to ban a skunk that doesn't make a sound. Donna's second amendment comes 5 days later. More specific this time. No animals of the family Mephididae. That's the taxonomic family for skunks. She looked it up. She's proud. Marcus doesn't fight it. He finds Pepper a permanent home through Sarah's rescue network. A family with a big yard and 2 kids who think skunks are the coolest thing alive. Pepper leaves with a new pink leash and a family that deserves him. You did your job, buddy. Time for phase 2. The next morning, Marcus walks Sir Edmund, an African pygmy hedgehog. Round, spiny, fits in his palm, makes 0 noise. Not Mephididae, not exotic under federal classification, legal in 46 states, $30 at any pet store. Sir Edmund rides in Marcus's cupped hand, pink leash clipped to a tiny harness, custom made, also pink. Same coffee, same calm face. Donna sees the hedgehog from her window. Her left eye twitches. She grabs the iPad, searches hedgehog decibel output. Result, functionally silent at rest. She puts the iPad down, picks it up again, puts it down. Donna banned dogs. Marcus brought a skunk. Donna banned skunks. Marcus brought a hedgehog. The technical term for this is malicious compliance. The street's term for it is the funniest thing that's happened on Oak Lane since Ted's inflatable Santa blew onto the highway. Let me ask you this. If your HOA banned every animal you loved, what silent creature would you bring home? Comment below. I guarantee your answer is funnier than a hedgehog. But the real turning point isn't Marcus. Evelyn Park, 72, widowed 4 years, lives alone on the corner lot with Muffin, a 14-year-old tabby cat with arthritis, and a yowl that could wake the dead. Muffin cries at 2 a.m. every night because she's old, confused, and looking for a warm lap in the dark. Normal for elderly cats. Marcus could tell you it's feline cognitive dysfunction. Donna could tell you it's a violation. 5 violations over 2 months, $500 total. Then the notice, mandatory surrender, HOA meeting. Evelyn stands. Her hands are shaking so badly she grips the back of the chair in front of her. Muffin is all I have left. My husband is gone. My children are in California. That cat sleeps on his pillow. She still does. Every night. Voice cracks. And you want me to give her to a shelter because she cries when she's scared? The room goes quiet. Donna starts to respond. The resolution applies to all. She's 14. She cries because she's old, not because she's loud. Donna doesn't finish her sentence. Marcus finds Evelyn on her front step that evening, Muffin on her lap, both of them staring at nothing. He sits down beside her, doesn't speak for a full minute. Evelyn doesn't either. Then Marcus, quiet. Linda would have known exactly what to say. She'd say something about how the ones that can't scream are the ones that need us most. He looks at Muffin, even if they scream a little at 2 a.m. Evelyn almost smiles. What do I do, Marcus? I know someone who has chinchillas. Whisper arrives 3 days later. A chinchilla, round, soft, gray, enormous eyes, completely silent. She doesn't replace Muffin. She just keeps Muffin company. And she gives Evelyn something Donna can't find. And then it spreads. Ted Kowalski, 66, Vietnam vet, built like a fire hydrant, gets Tank, a box turtle he names after the M48 patent he crewed in '71. Tank sits on Ted's shoulder like a parrot, never moves, never makes a sound. Ted walks him every morning. He's seen more than most of us, and he never complains. The Wynn family, young parents, 2 kids, 5 and 8. They get salt and pepper, 2 hermit crabs in a decorated terrarium. The kids name them after Marcus's skunk. We name them after the hero. Mrs. Davis, 60, retired librarian, gets Goldie, a leopard gecko. Goldie perches on her collar during walks. Libraries are supposed to be quiet. So is Goldie. Every morning, 8 a.m., Oak Lane. Marcus leads, Sir Edmund in his palm, Evelyn behind him, Whisper in a fabric pouch on her chest. Ted with Tank on his shoulder. The Wynn kids carrying Salt and Pepper's terrarium between them like a royal procession. Mrs. Davis with Goldie on her collar, walking in perfect silence. They pass Donna's house, in a line, in total silence. Hedgehog, chinchilla, turtle, hermit crabs, gecko, all on leashes or in carriers. Not a sound. Donna stands at her window, holds up her iPad. Decibel reading of the morning parade, 12 decibels. For reference, breathing is 10. The parade is quieter than breathing. Donna wanted silence. Marcus gave it to her. The most aggressive, coordinated, legislatively perfect silence any HOA has ever seen. And Donna still doesn't know the worst part. The veterinarian who walks a hedgehog on a pink leash every morning has already read every page of her 47-slide PowerPoint, because he helped write the federal law she's about to violate. Donna has one move left. She knows it. The board knows it. The neighborhood knows it. Community center, Thursday evening. 64 of 78 households present. Folding chairs packed tight. Ted has Tank on the table. Tank doesn't move. Ted, he's my emotional support reptile. Donna stands at the podium. PowerPoint loaded. 47 slides. Title slide in bold red. Comprehensive Animal Classification and Restriction Amendment 14-B.7. She begins. After extensive research, I have compiled a comprehensive list of every animal genus incompatible with community living. The following families are to be banned effective immediately. She clicks. Slide 2. Mephididae, skunks. Slide 3. Erinacidae, hedgehogs. Slide 4. Chinchillidae, chinchillas. Slide 5. Testudines, turtles. Someone whispers, She's banning turtles? Donna continues. Slide 6, Paguroidea, hermit crabs. Slide 7, Gecconidae, geckos. Slide 12, Muridae, mice. Slide 18, Leporidae, rabbits. Slide 23, Psittacidae, parrots. She's up to slide 30 and the room is getting restless. Marcus raises his hand, calm, voice steady. Donna, before you get to slide 37, I notice this list includes Canidae. Room stirs. Canidae, dogs, all dogs. And Felidae, more stirring, all cats. And on slide 42, all assistance, emotional support, and service animals not pre-approved by the board. Dead silence. Every head turns to Donna. Marcus doesn't raise his voice. That's a violation of the Fair Housing Act. Title 8, Federal Law. If you pass this, every service dog owner on this block has grounds for a federal discrimination complaint. He pauses, including Mr. Kowalski's daughter, who brings her seeing eye dog when she visits on weekends. Donna looks at her slides, scrolls to 42, reads. Her face drains. David Chen from his seat, legal voice on. For the record, attempting to restrict service animals through HOA bylaw is a per-violation federal offense. The fines start at $16,000 per incident. The room holds its breath. Ted Kowalski stands, slowly, tank on his shoulder. He looks at Donna the way a man looks at a bad commanding officer, not with hatred, with exhaustion. Ma'am, he points at Tank. This turtle has been to 3 states, survived 2 floods, and outlived 2 marriages. He's seen more action than your entire board. The room explodes. Not mean laughter, release laughter, joy laughter. Someone yells, "Tank for president!" Donna closes her laptop, slides it away. The laughter fades. I wasn't trying to, she stops, touches her temple. I just wanted it quiet. I can't. Another stop. I hear everything, all the time. Every sound, every frequency, every... She presses both hands against her eyes. I thought if I could just make it stop. Evelyn stands, 3rd row. Donna, my cat screams at 2 a.m. because she's old and scared. I can't make that stop, but I can sit with her. She looks at Donna gently. That's all any of us can do. Marcus, quietly. There are specialists for what you're dealing with, Donna. Audiologists, therapists. I can give you a referral, if you want one. The room is quiet, not hostile, compassionate. Donna nods once, picks up her laptop, her iPad, her clipboard with the laminated checklist, walks to the door. She turns. I'm sorry about Biscuit, barely above a whisper. I'm sorry about your wife. Door closes. Donna wanted a neighborhood that made no sound. Marcus wanted a neighborhood where every sound mattered. Turns out, the quietest protest in HOA history made the loudest point. Vote. Resolution 14-B, repealed, 62-2. Vote of no confidence, 58-6. Donna, removed. Fines refunded. Marcus's $400, Evelyn's $500, 8 other households. Total, $3,200 returned. New president, Ted Kowalski. He didn't run. He didn't campaign. Someone nominated him during the vote. I was here for the turtle, he says. Elected unanimously. Tank is given the honorary title of vice president. Someone makes a tiny nameplate. VP Tank. Ted's first official act. New rule. We have one rule. Be reasonable. He looks at the room. That's it. Meeting adjourned. Someone order pizza. Donna sees a specialist the following week. Hyperacusis. Extreme sensitivity to sound. Treatable. She starts therapy. Moves to a rural property 3 months later. 5 acres. No neighbors within earshot. She sends Marcus a card. Thank you for the referral. It's helping. Tell Biscuit I'm sorry. Marcus puts it on the fridge, next to Linda's photo, next to a crayon drawing the Nguyen kids made of Pepper the skunk wearing a cape. Property values on Oak Lane go up 3.2% that year. The neighborhood with the exotic pet parade becomes local charm. 2 families move in specifically because of the story. One brings a ferret, the other brings a bearded dragon. Sarah Park brings Pepper back for weekend visits. He still doesn't make a sound. still walks on the pink leash, still the most zen creature on Oak Lane. First Saturday of September, Oak Lane, annual Silent Pet Parade. Every family participates. Ted leads with Tank on his shoulder, honorary Grand Marshal. Evelyn walks Muffin, who is 15 now, and moves so slowly she steals the show by simply existing. The Nguyen kids carry salt and pepper in a box decorated with glitter and stickers that say, "Quiet Heroes." Mrs. Davis has Goldie perched on her hat. Sarah drives down from Columbus with Pepper. The crowd, and it is a crowd now, people from 3 blocks over come to watch, cheers when the pink leash appears. It's the only loud moment of the parade. The parade ends at Marcus's house. Folding chairs on the lawn, grill going, lemonade on a card table, kids running between legs and leashes. Marcus goes inside, gets biscuit. The old boy is stiff now, slow, each step deliberate. Marcus kneels, takes the collar off, the brown leather one, Linda's, green thread fraying but holding. He cleans it with a damp cloth, oils the leather, clips it back on. There you go, boy. Linda would have liked this. He carries Biscuit onto the porch, sets him down on his bed. Biscuit looks at the crowd, at the animals, at the children, at the noise and the color and the chaos of a neighborhood that's finally fully alive. And barks. One bark, raspy, trembling, barely there. Marcus closes his eyes. There it is. Evelyn from the lawn. What did he say? Marcus touches the green thread on the collar, runs his thumb over the B, over the T. Smiles. My wife used to say that every animal deserves a voice. He looks at Biscuit. Biscuit thumps his tail once, even the quiet ones. Biscuit barks again, one more, louder this time, or maybe it just sounds louder because the whole block is listening. Marcus sat alone on this porch 3 years ago. One old dog, one fraying collar. One morning bark he was terrified of losing. Now there are 40 people on his lawn, a turtle named Vice President, a skunk in a pink leash, and a neighborhood that decided, together, that silence was never the point. The point was choosing what sounds to fill the silence with. If your HOA has ever tried to silence something that matters to you, share this story. And if you have a pet that's been there through the hardest years of your life, the years when nobody called, when the house felt too big, when the mornings were the hardest part, give them an extra treat tonight. They earned it. Do 3 things. 1. Subscribe, because the next story is about a 74-year-old grandmother who comes home from watering her roses to find the locks changed on her own house. Foreclosed by her HOA, over $1,400 she didn't even know she owed. That one doesn't end with laughter. It ends with a courtroom. 2. Comment. If your HOA banned your pet, what silent animal would you bring home? I want to hear it. 3. Share this with someone who needs to hear that the quietest voice in the room sometimes makes the biggest difference. And remember, you can ban a bark, you can ban a meow, you can even ban a skunk, but you can't ban a neighborhood that decides, together, that every voice matters, even the quiet ones.